Mama never say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
You have a relationship that dates back to student politics.
Yes.
And I'm sure you were also in the house yesterday.
Yes. It's really been a difficult 24 hours since this news broke. It's taken a toll on all of us. We are all in utter disbelief. I woke up this morning hoping that the news will emerge as some fake news, one of those, expensive jokes. But it appears that this is real, and we have to brace ourselves for this shocking demise of the Honorable John Kumah. You are right, I have known him since our teenage years. I was trustee of the Greater Accra Students Representative Council, and he led the Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council. He was in Opokuware, I was in Presec, and we formed the regional SRCs that served as a fulcrum for a national SRC. He was a very passionate young activist. He didn't end at the secondary school level. He continued to the University of Ghana as one of those impactful student activists. I recall he ran for SRC president. He missed out narrowly, and then continued to run for the president of the National Union of Ghana Students. Interestingly, that year they had very remarkable candidates. So he was on the bill. Then you had the Honorable Dr. Edward Kofi Omanebwama, who won the contest. Then you had Comrade Bernard Mona, who was also in that contest. So it was quite a fine breed of student activists, and despite our ideological differences, there was deep respect for each other and for these activists who really championed the cause of students, the cause of the youth, who thought that students should have a seat at the table, should have a voice, and should be well represented at all levels of the university governance and within the larger national governance architecture of our country. I must also add that he continued into national politics. He joined us in Parliament, and in Parliament, even though we belong to different sides of the aisle, he was a worthy opponent who debated forcefully. He was not one of those MPs who was shy of airing his views. He made his points quite eloquently and forcefully, and he was one of those new entrants who made an impact. So he didn't have to be in the house for a very long time for you to remember that the good people of Ejiso have sent a very formidable representative. I mean, within a short period of time, he made his mark in the chambers. As one of those really active members of parliament, he will participate in the budget debate. He will participate in the debate on the message of the State of the Nation. And generally, when there are statements, he appeared largely interested in matters to do with youth development, youth entrepreneurship, matters to do with skills empowerment, and seeing how more fiscal space could be created to fund a lot of these job creation initiatives. That appear to be his passion. So he really has made a mark, and it is difficult to accept that at his prime, just when you thought that the whole world was really ahead of him to conquer, and that he will leave in the footprints of time, a certain golden legacy when all is said and done, and he has completed his mission, which was quite a really fast-paced political career, a very successful one at that. It's really a void that he has left. I want to extend deepest condolences to his wife and children. I have met his wife, who is a respected clergy woman, who will always seize every moment to preach the gospel, to evangelize. She comes across as a very passionate servant of the Almighty, and I really wonder how she's taking it. I mean, to lose your husband and your life partner in his prime.
You have 6 children together.
Yes, yeah.
6.
Yes, 6 children, and it's. I mean, widowhood is nothing you wish for, even the worst enemy. So we extend deepest commiserations to her, to the children, to the larger family. I also want to extend our condolences to the Ejisu constituency. I note that he was really loved. In the last primaries, he went unopposed. Nobody challenged him. Nobody thought that they could muster the courage to unseat him. So they just allowed him to go uncontested, which really is testament of how well he served the people. And I'm not surprised that the whole constituency has been thrown into a state of grief, a state of anguish, a state of mourning. I also want to extend deepest sympathies to the New Patriotic Party, the government he served in, and of course to our institution, the institution of Parliament. You saw how devastated the Right Honourable Speaker was yesterday, and all of us yesterday could not believe the news, and that's why we couldn't continue with the work of the day, because we were not in the right frame of mind. We were totally distraught, and there was no way we could have continued with the business of the House. So condolences to all Ghanaians, the folks at the Ministry of Finance. I share in their pain and in their loss. I'm told yesterday that it was really difficult for our sister, the Honourable Abnao Sayasari, to even leave the precincts of Parliament. She couldn't even walk. So it's been really difficult. I've been receiving calls from student activists across the country, all those we worked with. Comrade Donaire Kosina called me. He was also in the regional SRC, and he's a reverend minister now. He couldn't believe the news. Frank Udro has called. Many student activists are in total disbelief at what has happened. But as people of faith, as Christians, we all know that it is God who gives and it is God who takes. We all do not know how much time He has assigned to us on earth. We know that this journey is just a pilgrimage. We are only sojourning. It's a really fleeting and transient moment, and nobody knows when your time will be up. It's really about seizing the moment and making the best. It's not really how long you live, but it is the impact you make, even if it is 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. It's really about the impact you made. And we know of many greats, including Jesus the Christ himself, who didn't spend too much time with us on earth, but remains the most impactful and iconic person to have walked the surface of this earth. So we can only ask that his loved ones, family and children will be comforted by the fact that he left an enduring legacy. in this short span of time, he has served his country with diligence. He served his party, and you've seen the statement from the party, all flags are flying at half-mast within his party. It's not every party activist who will receive that honor and that befitting respect to your memory. It shows that his contributions are well recognized. So I will plead, I know it's very difficult, but I'll plead with everybody grieving to at least take solace in the fact that he made quite a mark. We are all not perfect. As human beings, we will all have our shortcomings. But when all is said and done, overall, in the balance, what was the impact and how positively did you influence others and impact on the lives of others? And if you listen to the testimonies, all of those who have spoken about the Okudzeto MP, they talk about his very warm relationship with them, how respectful he was, how kind he was, how generous he was, and that he always made time for them. And really, if you think about it, Doc, to be in a state of unwellness and yet wanting to be with your constituents, everybody, his family, his doctors, everybody has said that he wasn't well for some time, and yet he did not abdicate. He didn't abandon his constituents. We are told that he wanted to take the salute at the 6 March parade in his constituency. He could have said that, well, you know, not too well, let me forget about my constituent for some time, which will have been understood. But he made it a point to go there and to be with his constituents. It's a certain reflection of how well he took his job.
Was that not also too risky?
Yes, I mean you can say that. You can say that it was risky, but you see,
not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
If he didn't show up, you know how the
grassroots
will talk. Plenty things.
Mm-hmm. You know,
I mean,
but you see, talking about that and his dedication to work, it also brings to the fore the need for us to improve health delivery across the length and breadth of this country, so that wherever you are serving this country, wherever you stay as a Ghanaian, regardless of your status, regardless of your role, you can have a fair shot at having quality health care. So we need to make sure that, you know, developments like this remind us. And I think that that would be a lasting, you know, legacy to his memory. Let us rededicate all efforts at investing in quality health care across the length and breadth of our country. I mean, I keep saying, anytime people say, oh, you seem to be doing a lot in your, particularly the Bato Catholic Hospital, I tell them that, you know, half of the time I'm here. You may think I'm doing it for others, for my constituents, for those who visit from neighboring constituencies and even outside Ghana. But what if you are also in an emergency situation? You're always on the move. You can even have an accident. And that's all you will have in terms of, you know, first aid and immediate response, primary care. So you are not doing it for others. You should think about it more deeply, that you are also doing it for yourself and your loved ones and all those who you care about. So even in this moment of grief and sorrow, there are important lessons to be learned. His dedication is really remarkable. That regardless of his, you know, his health status, he continued to work even at the Ministry of Finance. He was very supportive of the new Minister of State who was elevated to replace the Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta. So let's learn the useful lessons. Let's make all the right investments in local health delivery, because you may not always be fortunate to get out of the jurisdiction. But we will all be at the various commemorations. We will be there to wish the family well, to condole with them, and to extend our our sympathy. So our thoughts and prayers remain with the family. May the good Lord grant him a peaceful repose.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.